Okay, I think recording has started. Yes, so we're going to begin. Anybody joining from now, I'll just add them in. So yes, this is an introductory session to UI/UX design, and I want everybody to keep an open mind, keep a creative mind as we start. So the title of my session is Designing Delightful Interfaces, an introduction to UI/UX. Okay, so these people that are joining would disturb this class, right? I don't think I can make anybody a co-host to help me to. Um. Okay, so yes, designing delightful interfaces, an introduction to UI/UX design. So basically, how I start all my UI/UX design session is telling just one simple thing, that UI/UX is about the users, right? It is basically in the name. What is UI/UX design? It is user interface and user experience design, right? So the reason why it's about users is kind of shady to me, It's not shady basically, but we have different reasons why. It's because of it's centered around the user, because the users have the money, right? And when the users love something, they keep coming back. And when they keep coming back, the money keeps coming back. So let's take Twitter, for example. Twitter is like the internet town square, or yeah, internet town square. There's always just running around in Twitter. There's always the new news, like the first news is coming out in Twitter. Fabrizio, the official, official person that gives us the news about all the transfer, he gives it on Twitter. So everybody enjoys using Twitter, and because of that, everybody keeps going there. And because everybody keeps going to Twitter, Twitter keeps making money, like indirectly, because people love coming there. So anything that keeps the user engaged, anywhere that the user loves to go, that's where the money is. And that's why every company wants to please the users, right? Wants to please the users. And that is just how it is, right? So that is it. So first of all, meet me. Yes, I've introduced myself before. I'm just going to do it again. My name is Ayodeji. I've been into UIUX for 3 years. I'm a student of medical rehabilitation, and there is my WhatsApp number. You can message me. You can, okay. These people that are just joining, they are really, really disturbing this session. Okay, so as I've said, you can um message me on WhatsApp. I love talking with people. I love chatting. Just message me and tell me where you're from here, and we just keep moving on from there. I'll save your number, you save mine, and it will be cool from there. So yes, that is me in a nutshell. So let's all begin. So what is UI UX? So user interface and user experience design is two different concepts, but they work hand in hand, right? So UI/UX design is a crucial aspect of creating digital products. Not not just that the products look appealing, also that the product gives a very good experience to the users. And what do I mean? It means that the user must enjoy using your product, and the user must enjoy using your product, and the user must always want to come back. So that's where the experience part like lies, right? So user interface, that's UI, stands for it focuses on the visual elements, that is the layout, the spacing, the color you use, the icons you use, the typography. Typography means the kind of text you use. You understand? So all of these things that the user actually sees with their eyes while they are interacting with your product is user interface, right? Those are the things they actually press, right? On WhatsApp, all the buttons you click, status, the way status looks like now when some people post, and then status like beach, and all of that. So all those things we see is the user interface, and these are the things the users will interact with, and this contributes to the overall look and feel of the product. There is this law of UX. I've forgotten. It says that I'm paraphrasing. The finer the design, the finer, like if it's fine, if the design is fine, the better you are. The Sorry, give me a minute. So yes, as I was saying, the finer the design, the more visually appealing it is, the better the experience of the user. So that is it. So it contributes to the look and the feel. So for your digital product, that's when I say digital product, I mean an application or a website or uh, anything, right, that the user can really interact with. For it to be visually appealing, for the user to have a good experience, it starts with the user interface. Sincerely, people that are just joining are really, really distracting me. Oh Christ. Okay. Right. So we've gotten that out of the way. User interface is the visual elements. Now, user experience. This is where it gets tricky, or where you guys like this is not something you can actually see. So this concentrates on the user's satisfaction. That is the key word, right? It concentrates on the user satisfaction. So it involves we as designers understanding the user's behavior, their needs, their pain points, and use those information to design a product for them. Now, for example, if you're a freelancer, you probably know gig pay. If you don't know gig pay, you probably know payday. If you don't know payday, you probably know gray. If you don't know gray, you probably know wise or PayPal. Now, I'm just going to take gig pay for example. Now, gig pay, the pain point is as freelancers in Nigeria, we don't have a way to receive um, dollars. That was before the floating of naira, and then you can now receive your dollar through your bank with the flat rate. But before that time, there was no way for you to receive dollar into to for you to receive dollar without going through the very low rates that the CBN offers, and you do not get your money immediately. You have to go and get approval from somewhere and all that business. So so a company like Big Geek already saw the problem, right? They saw the problem. Okay, this is the user's pain point. So that is what we're solving for. Before GeekPay had an app, they only had a website, and the website was very basic. And what the website did was just function. The website was not focusing on beauty and all of that. They make sure that what the user was coming to do worked. And that's why I still use them to date. A lot of people use other websites that are also good, but as I've said, um, it starts with the experience of the user. So when the geek pay when they realized, okay, this is the problem of the users, right, this is their problem, this is what they are facing, okay, let us solve for that. And that's how they keep growing in users, that's how they keep growing in users, keep growing in sign-ups daily. And because users keep coming back, they what keep making money. So it's a win-win situation. The freelancers are winning, the company is winning, and everybody is happy. Right. So I feel by now you already have a very, very um, good understanding of what UI UX is. The UI part is focusing on the interface, what we are seeing, the buttons, how it feels. You know how it is when you enter a room and the room is clean, there's proper lighting, there's everything. Like you even want to sleep there. That is the interface because what you are seeing is good. But imagine you are about to sleep. Let's say for example you are spending the night there and you're about to sleep, and then cockroach start flying out. You kill the first one, cockroach fly out again. You kill the second one, you kill the third one. You forget the fact that the whole room is very nice because your experience is already bad. That is why UI and UX work hand in hand. That's why they call it UI UX. You understand? Your experience is even more um, takes greater weight than how it looks. Though how it looks would add to the experience. The experience might be good, but the way it looks, if it's bad, I mean, people use iPhone these days because of the aesthetics or the kind of status that everybody has placed iPhone in, right? It's obvious that there are some Android phones that are like function better, they are blah blah blah, but a lot of people use iPhones because of, okay, if I'm using iPhone, everybody perceives me as rich. If I'm using iPhone, then this, then that, right? So that is like kind of how will I put it, the interface. for iPhone users, right? And also, the experience is also there because they feel good about themselves. iPhone is, for a very normal person that is not techie, it works fine, takes pictures, okay. So the experience is good, the interface is good, then they are fine. But then you see some Android phones that are like machines, but they don't even look well. And people don't even want to use it because they want a phone that is classic, that is simplistic, and all of that. So I believe you are getting the picture. If you are getting the picture, type on the chat box, just put something, type fire emoji or something like that. So just type on the chat box if you are getting the picture, if you are really understanding what I'm saying, and just go to the message and type yes, put a fire emoji, put something. Let me know we are here together. Only one person is following me. Ha. Okay, okay, I can see you. Okay, that's good. I feel okay. We're understanding it. That's amazing, right? That's amazing. That is the essence. We need to understand like the basic things before we actually then move on. So that's amazing. So let us keep going. So when I start again, I'm not going to admit anybody because these people that are coming in are really distracting me. So let's move on from this slide. We spent too long here. Okay, so why is UI UX important? I believe from what I've already said, you already like grasp one or two things from what I already said. So the significance of UI UX design cannot be overstated. Why is UI UX popular now? UI UX was not very popular in the early 2000s. UI UX started gaining popularity around 2010, 2008, around those periods. But before then, people just built websites, used code to just build websites that worked. And things functioned well then, right? So what is the significance? A well-designed interface, right, and a user experience, which is very important, would have a profound impact on the success of a digital product, right? So for a product to succeed, it must keep the users happy. Why is TikTok succeeding? No, TikTok has its dark side, but it's keeping the users happy. People are getting their daily dose of dopamine, like literally just scrolling through funny videos or conspiracy theories and crazy things like that. And though it has its bad side because you're just spending too much time on your phone and attention span is low, but it really just functions. The user is satisfied. At some point, you even get oversaturated. And then it's like, okay, that's enough TikTok for the day. So, and that's because they got something right that other social medias did not get, right? But we're not going to that. That is like really deep mechanics of UIX design, which you still get to understand, but we're really talking about introductions now. So why is it important? Increase user satisfaction. So when a product, a digital product basically, right, is thoughtfully designed, the user has an increased satisfaction. And let me give you a very, very good example. Let's say you have a food delivery app and you download the app, you see the food you want to buy, you click on it, you put in your address, you put in your phone number, and you get and you click on order, and then they tell you that your food arrives in 10 minutes, and then your food arrives in 6 minutes. You are super satisfied. You're just in the comfort of your home and your food is meeting you at the front of the door. You are happy, right? You are you are just happy, right? So that is it. You are satisfied, and that is what a good digital product achieves. And it will not be able to achieve that if UI UX design is not involved, and that's why companies spend a lot of money on UI UX designers, right? Improved user engagements, right? um People keep using, and that's what you've seen in something like TikTok. People keep using it, user engagement. A lot of creators are coming, and everybody's just using. Everybody literally has a TikTok account. Everybody's a creator at this rate, right? Which is amazing because the app is doing well, right? Enhance your usability. So for your product to actually satisfy, people must be able to use it. The users must be able to use it well. So a well thought out digital product will be easy to navigate, easy to use. Users are not frustrated, and that increases user satisfaction, and that increases user engagement. So UI UX is kind of like, how will I put it? Kind of like a dark thing if you think about it very well. Yeah, keeping people in your app just to make more money. But the thing is, it's not just about more money, because I've been saying that now. There's something called inclusive design. Let me give you an example. If you have been to a well planned out city, you will see that there are some curbs, like, how will I put it? There are some curbs, like inclined curbs. Are they curbs? No, curbs are all those stuff. So there are some inclined platforms for people with wheelchair to access. Some hospitals have it. Mostly hospitals have it around here, and some bridges, I guess. So for people with wheelchair to be able to access those buildings, like airports to have it. So people with wheelchairs can access, because they can't climb stairs, they cannot climb platforms. So those inclined platforms are for them to be able to access the building, right? Now that was designed for people with wheelchair, but that thing that was solved for that problem that was solved for people with wheelchairs is now something that everybody uses. You now see people carrying heavy load into the building using those platforms to go up. And because that was well thought out for a selected group of people, other people have benefited from it. And that's another advantage of UIUX design. You design something and then it 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 helps everybody basically. You design for one person, it solves for every other person, right? So that is the importance of UIUX design, making the community better, making things really amazing, right? So I just want to quickly point this out. This time is 6:30, and I've already said it that Google Meet only permits like 60 minutes. That's an hour. So we might not be done before that. So I'm going to send a new link, right? So everybody just quickly joins, and immediately I send the link, I just when like 3 people join, I just start again. So I don't want us to waste time, because I think, as I said in the beginning, I still have exams to write. So, but let's just go on, right? Let's just go on. So, right. So what is the UI design process? So for us to be able to create well thought out designs, for us to be able to create designs that users are happy and they are satisfied, we have a framework. Now, if you go online, you see different types of UI UX design processes. You see different types of them. They are plenty. But then this is a model that a lot of people use. Right. First is research. Right. So here is where you understand the the target audience, their needs, their preferences, and their pain points. You remember I was talking about their pain points, how you need to know their pain points to be able to know what to solve for them. Because not all problems are worth solving. I think there was a time Apple created something that looked like um, I think it was Microsoft that created something that looked like an iPad, like a tablet, but nobody accepted it because nobody needed it at that time. It was coming before its time, right? And that's why it has really not, it really did not work out for them then. And then other people did it at the right time, and came out well. So that is it. So you have to research and know what people really need, and then their pain points. And how do you do this? You do this through interviews, surveys, data analysis, and a lot of that. Data is the oil of the 21st century. Data is money. Data is like data, right? And it's just very bad that Nigeria has very poor data system. You cannot really access data. So then design, right? Design from your findings, you now create wireframes. You're going to still move on and you're going to know what wireframes are, but then you create wireframes and prototypes that align to how your product is going to work. Then prototyping. Prototyping is okay, so you have a client, for example, you've designed, and you cannot just send the Figma link to your client. Let me show you what the Figma page looks like. So this should just load up in a minute. A minute has passed. Okay, so this is a Figma page, right? And let me show you how big this Figma page is. Now the designs I've made on this page is so much that if I give the clients, when I give the clients, okay, I've already given the client, but basically when I give the clients, it will be so overwhelming. They don't know where to look. They don't know, okay, what is all of this, right? Because they're not a designer. They just want their products to come out fine, right? So we create prototypes. Prototypes are clickable um, parts of your design that can lead the stakeholder or the project manager forward. So they click on, okay, when they click on this happens, and then they can really understand, okay, this is what the app is going to be doing, or what they told you that the app is going to do, it is doing it fine. Do you understand? So that's just a simple, basic definition of prototype. Testing. Now, when you build, you cannot just take it out and people accept it. You need to test. And this is what before UI UX, people just did try and error. They just put out the product and from there, if it works, fine. If it does not work, okay, sad. But now people take a lean approach to building, right? They don't just spend tons of money and then hope that the product comes out fine. right? Hope that no. So what they do is when they build a product, we usually build an MVP. An MVP is a minimum viable product. It's something that is usable, something that just does what you want to do. Is it a food app? Let people be able to order food. All the other services like you can see the restaurant, you can all those things, leave it out. Let them be able to order food, right? So when they are able to order food, if it works, test it with users. Now, how do we do that? There are different ways you can bring people into the lab. They call it lab because we say testing. Or you can just bring people to use the product while you monitor them, or you send it out to people to use it. So while people use your product, they give you feedback. So for example, if you download an application and then you now have to go to Google and go, okay, how to use this application. That's bad UX design because intuitively you should be able to know how to use the product. And that's why anything you download today, you just know how to use it. And if it's something that's going to be kind of it's going to kind of be complicated, the designers or the stakeholders or basically designers and then developers will give you pointers. That's when you open an application, they do an onboarding process for you. So that okay, this button does this button does that, and then you say click on next. You click on next. So yeah, press this one, press this one. So by following those steps, you already know. Okay, you already have an idea of what this app does, right? If you don't have an idea of what I'm saying, after now, just go and download Lightroom. If you've not used Lightroom before, download Lightroom. And when you download it and you sign up, you see how they'll just take you through editing a photo and you immediately understand what Lightroom is used for. So that's basically it. And that's why testing is important. So that we know that okay, the users understand what we're trying to use this product for, and this product is actually something useful that people want to use. Because you don't want to build something with so much money and then people don't use it. Understand? And then refine it. So when you test, you bring it back and then you refine your idea, you reiterate. Reiterate means building on a previous idea. So from the feedback you've gotten from people who have tested your product, you come back and you refine, you come back and you adjust before you now launch out the product. Right? Okay, so let me quickly admit those that are here. Okay, admitted. Okay. Okay, so I hope you people understand what I've been saying so far, and I'm not just blabbing. I hope people understand, and I really hope I'm getting things across. And yes, so let's just go on, right? So understanding the user, you see that we are just going to be explaining kind of what is going to be happening here, because users are very tricky people. They tell you that this is what they want, and at the end of the day, that's not what they want. Let's say we say we want an app that can allow us to fly, right? We want an app that can allow us to fly. But in the real sense, what they want is to be able to get to their destinations faster. You see the difference? In their mind, they believe, I want to fly. If I can fly over traffic and get to where I want to be easily, right? But when you interview them, you survey them, you now really understand that what these people want is not to fly. They want to get to that location faster, right? They want to get to their locations faster. And for them to be able to get to their locations faster, they need this and that. Now, that is where you, as a creative, comes in, right? You come in and you think, okay, so how do we do this? What is the existing structure that we have? What is the existing structure we have? What are the technologies that we have in the present age? Because a lot of people always bash UX designers and say that, okay, you are designing something. Who is going to build it? Who is the developer that's going to develop this one for you? So you look at the problem, look at the existing technology that we have, and it's very amazing because technology now is really pushing boundaries. We have AI, we have blockchain, we have everything. Though we are not there yet, but you can, like, with what we have now, you see that anything can be built, literally anything. Right? And Elon Musk is literally building a, when I say railway, like I don't know if you've heard about the Boring Company, where they use like vacuum to transport people, because and the idea came to his head because he was stuck in traffic one day. Crazy, right? So that is it. You really need to understand the user. They don't want to fly, they just want to get to their destinations faster. And how do you understand this from your users? We have different methods, but the very common ones are surveys, interviews, and creating personas. And now let us dig into that. When I say dig into that, we're not going really deep. I'll just really talk about it. So surveys, I don't know, people that have done final year projects before, they usually conduct surveys. I don't know if you've like filled Google Forms for people this period that people are really graduated. So those are surveys, right? They are trying to understand people. And that's what we also do that as UIUX designers. We create surveys and we have people answer questions. And from their responses, we really understand how they are. And what's the advantages of surveys? The advantage of surveys is that it will reach a large amount of people. Like if you are surveying people, you can survey people in Lagos, right here in Ife or wherever you are right now. You can survey people in America, right where you are, using technologies that we have, right? But then for interviews, interviews would is also a way of getting information from the users, but you cannot really cover as much. Yes, you can interview people in America with things like Zoom and Google Meet and all of the technology, right? But interview is really like kind of like a face-to-face thing where I'm talking, you are replying, I'm listening to you, seeing your feedback, seeing the way you are doing your eyes. Okay, if you say then she's not liking this thing about my product, or this is a pain point and all of that, then I'm really communicating with you. That's the advantage of interviews, because you can really feel the person, feel what they are feeling. I don't know if you are feeling me. I don't know if you are feeling me, right? You can really feel what they're feeling, but you cannot interview 1,000 persons. It will take a long time, right? But a survey can survey 1,000 persons in under 3 days. You're getting the difference. I know you're getting it. So again, then you create personas from all the people you survey, from all the people you interviewed, you create a persona for them. Because you're interviewing different people from different backgrounds. So you say, okay, this one is Yetunde, she's educated, she's very rich, and she can afford a plane. This one is Taiwo. He is a secondary school student. He lives in Ilaje and he rides a bike to school. So he probably cannot afford a plane. So you create personas. Now, personas is not that you create persona for every single person you interviewed, but you take a group of people. Okay, these are the rich people. Good. You now create one persona for them or two, depending. I say, okay, this is how they think. This is what they want. This is that. So we have that. Then you create another persona for middle class people. Or this is depending, right, on the kind of survey you are doing. Okay, this is how they think. This is how much they can spend. This is that. And then you take for lower class people or students, or because if you are selling a product of 1 million naira to students, nobody will buy it from you, even if some people can afford it, right? Yes, out of 100 students, one person will buy a product of 1 million naira. Well, I really can't say because people buy iPhone 14 these days. I've seen more than 10 iPhone 14s on this campus. So I'm just saying, right? So you really need to understand that. But then if you're selling iPhone 14 to very rich people who things are literally free for them, what do I mean by things are literally free? Rich people are very rich so that they just buy things without looking at it. They don't check price tags because, come on, they're rich. So you can sell iPhone 14s to them. So you create personas. So that's the essence of personas, right? So in my product, is it for rich people or for poor people? Your survey will help to understand that, okay, in Lagos, there are a lot of rich people. In Abuja, we have senators, so rich people. In I don't know, I don't want to batch where I'm from. So you do all these personas and then you understand that, okay, per location, this is what we can sell to them, and this is how we can build a product for them and all of that. So the product you're building for students is different from the product you're building for government workers. It's different from the product you're building for entrepreneurs. It's different from the product you're building for market women. That is understanding the users. I don't know if you are getting me. I know you are getting me, so let's go. I'm just trying to crack joke. I hope you are laughing wherever you are, because if you are not laughing, I'll failed as a teacher. Okay, so let's move on. So wireframing and prototyping, right? If you see, if I go back 2 steps, you can see we talked about research and then we talked about design and prototype. Now that is where wireframing and prototyping comes in. Now we have wireframing. It is basically okay. This is just talk. Let me really show you. I think it's better to show, right? Now we have two images here. This one here, I'm zooming on my PC. I don't know if it's really zooming in on your end, right? Let me just bring this out and show, right? So this is a wireframe. This is like an idea of what you have. We usually do this when I do this a lot because when I'm walking, I'm in my thoughts, I'm listening to music, and I know I'm working on a project and I don't really know what's up. And then an idea just comes up. So I just sketch it out. So that is what a low fidelity wireframe is. Now, this is called a wireframe. It's just what you believe your product would look like. So you just draw a square because this is probably a mobile version of something, and then okay, so this is it. They can have um their buttons down here, the products listed here. We have categories to help them navigate, search bar, notification, that and that. So this is what a wireframe is. It's just giving you an idea of what you want to design. And this is a pen and pencil paper kind of wireframe. You can also do your wireframe on digitally. And the reason why we do wireframe digitally is because when you have an idea, you're probably working with the project manager and you want to share the idea with them, but you don't want to go on designing and putting color and all of that because most likely the project manager will say tell you that okay, go back and do this, fix this and fix that. And when they start saying fix this and fix that, it's basically redesigning everything. So if you can give them something that looks like this, you can easily tell you, okay, this is it, and then you know that you must spend so much time because wireframes can you can create wireframes in like 5 minutes, easy peasy, right? So that's it. So this is what wireframe is. It helps us to like see our idea, helps us validate it with stakeholders and all of that. So moving on, we have the high fidelity wireframes or prototypes. This is how prototypes look like. We have the colors, the buttons. You can see these buttons. Well, from designer, you have the colors, the buttons, and everything well laid out. You are using the typography of the brand, the color of the brand, and everything. This is the high fidelity. The stakeholders and the project managers, they already agreed that okay, this is the direction we are going, and they are just going with it. So this is it. So that's what I was explaining here. Wireframes, they are basic low fidelity representation of the product's layout and structure. Prototypes involve creating interactive mockups that stimulate the product's functionality. I mean, this gibberish makes sense now. Okay, let's move on. I don't know if you guys are with me. If you're with me, okay. So please, what do you use to? Yes, you can drop your questions on the chat box. What do you use to design wireframes digitally? Okay, so to design wireframes digitally, we have different platforms or apps that we use, which I'm still going to touch on now. I'm going to touch on that now. So right, I'm going to touch on them. So yeah, just if you have a question and you don't want to forget, just type it in the chat box and I will remember to answer it, obviously. So user testing. And what is user testing? User testing is this phase here, testing. Testing is when you're trying to validate your idea, right? This is where you detect usability issues, you discover potential improvement, and you validate your design. So when you test your products, right? When you test your products, you see if the users can use it. Okay, if they because most times when you build a product, you don't just release it, you test it so that you make sure that all the buttons are working, it is working perfectly, and especially if you are building sensitive products like fintech apps, financial technology like OPay, PayPal, Piggyvest, Carrywise, and all of that business. If you're designing things like that, you have to be very meticulous because you're dealing with people's money. And if people's money go anyhow, they can burn down your company, bro. So that is that. So that is the essence of user testing. I already talked about user testing in in details like a while back. So I feel for now you understand that part, right? So moving on, so that's user testing, testing products, blah, yada yada yada. You discover potential improvements, the problems that they have, and then you can work on that. So this tell you something: as designers, do not be attached to your design because improvements will always come. So if you're attached that this is how I want my design to be, this is it. You not even grow as a designer. It's not possible. You need to be able to take criticism, both constructive and destructive, because people want to destroy your work. Take it because in every destructive criticism, there might be kind of an iota of truth, not always an iota of truth, but there might be an iota of truth that the person has just drawn out. Maybe you misuse the color and then they just tell you that you are a very, very bad designer. You don't know how to mix colors. That's not necessarily true. You know how to mix colors. You just mixed this one wrong. That's what I'm saying. So there might be an iota of truth. Okay, I mixed this wrong. Let me do it right. But that destructive criticism already said you are a bad designer. You don't know how to use colors. And then you now start having imposter syndrome that, oh, am I truly a designer? Am I this? Am I that? Right? So, it's just the way you look at life. Let's move on, right? I'm spitting bars. I'm spitting bars. Somebody write bars in the comment section. Bars, bars, bars. spitting bars. Okay, right. So UI/UX design tools. So what are the tools we use to design? We have Figma, we have Sketch, we have Adobe XD, we have InVision. We have a lot like that. Uh, Personally, I use Figma. A lot of designers use Figma. The most popular one is Figma, and then we have Adobe XD, we have Sketch, and these are the three most popular ones. And I'll show you my Figma right away. But basically, you should know that as a designer, you should not be attached to the design tool you are using. I don't know if you get that. Tools come and go. There was a time people were using Photoshop to do UI/UX design. Like people literally use Photoshop to do UI/UX design. And now we've moved to Figma because Figma is more collaborative. Your stakeholder can come, that's your clients can come and check what you're doing. Project managers can come, developers can check codes and all those things like that. So right. So that is that. So Google Meet is already giving us 15 minutes notice. So let's just go on. So that's it. So here is my Figma. I use Figma on a day-to-day basis to design. So someone was asking, how do we create wireframes digitally? I use Figma. There are other things for creating wireframes like Whimsical, Miro, and all of that. But basically, Figma can do anything you want to do for you right now because Figma is very, very powerful. It's a very, very powerful tool. So this is how the interface of Figma looks like. All my projects are here, clients work, and basically everything is here. So this is how Figma looks like. So, but then I'm not attached to Figma. I am attached to Figma, guys. Let me lie to you. And I don't want Figma to go down. But yes, as a designer, you should know that you should not be attached to a digital tool or a design tool. You should be able to use anyone. Right. So if you're learning graphic design and it's only Canva that you know, I'm telling you now you're in trouble. Go and learn another thing. You should not only know the concept remains the same. The platform is just an enabler. Ah, bars again. God, I'm too good. Oh God. Right. Let's just move on. We are almost done with today's session. So careers in UI/UX design. I know this is where we are all going. Okay, so all this nonsense I've been saying. Where can I work? I need to make this money. So careers in UI/UX design, you can become obviously a UI/UX designer, someone who does everything we've been explaining this morning, right? An interaction designer. So what's an interaction designer? Interaction designer is someone who designs how the app would flow, right? Interactions in the app. There are some apps that you click on. Okay, like if you're using Samsung phone and the fingerprint is in front of it, if you click on the fingerprint, you see like an animation that like a water ripple animation that that happens. So that's like the work of an interaction designer. So a normal designer will just put this thing there and just move on because there's a lot of things to design. But then the interaction designer will now meticulously, okay, what to make this beautiful for the user, with what will make them enjoy it. So they will add all these little micro animations to make these things just look altogether beautiful and give you a very good experience, right? That's what basically, in a nutshell, an interaction designer does. And then a UX researcher. So these are people who are focused on research. They do not design. They understand users. They gather data. They analyze data. They do surveys, interviews, day in, day out. That's when they come to work today. They start researching. They come tomorrow. They research. During the holiday, they are still researching. When they're supposed to be playing with their children, they are researching. During Christmas, they are researching. I'm just joking, but then that's basically what they do. And then information architect. Now, this is actually part of like a UX researcher or a UI/UX designer, basically. But some people just put it out. These are the ones that design how the hierarchy of the app. For example, this is just a very, very brief overview of it. I'm not really giving you the detailed thing. It is so you know that when you click on the app, you start from home. When you click on a button in home, it takes you here. When you click on this, it takes you here, and then you check out and blah 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 blah. So that's what an architect will do. Okay, this is all the functionalities that's going to be on our application, on our digital products. Then this is all the screens that are going to be there. This is all the things that I should be able to do. That's what an information architect does. And where can a UI/UX designer work? We can work everywhere, every industry, right? We work in education, work in technology, obviously. We work in finance, like career-wise as a UX designer. Not one, not two. Healthcare, obviously. If you attended Doctor Plus, you know. But if you not attend, basically, digital products to help improve health, help improve life and living. E-commerce, Jumia, Amazon, and all these products, right? They are works of UIX designers. Like UIX designers are actively involved in all these things, right? So that's career as a UX. So what are some resources you can go from? So basically the group is there for you, like the group that we are together in. I'm going to share resources with everybody and all of that. But then there are blogs you can check out. I just left two here. Nelson Norman's blog. This man is Don Norman, basically. Don Nelson Norman, I think, is considered the father of UX design. So you can check out his blog. The UX Collective is also a very, very popular blog, right? And books you want to read, you can read The Design of Everyday Things. Everybody talks about it. Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug. And design communities, you can join your local design community, join any designers community around and all of that. It's amazing. You should join because when you have a group of people doing the same thing as you, it motivates you. It helps you to see more. I mean, a lot of design communities, and I'm still learning, even though I'm 3 years into the game. I'm still learning. I'm still pushing, and yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. And you can dribble and Behance. This is where designers post their work, post what they do, and yeah, you should. And people use them as portfolios, right? People use them as portfolios. So that is it. So these are resources that can help you. So I just want to say something before I go on. Um, UI UX is a very, very profitable skill to have because you cannot be in a digital age and not have a digital skill. You are doing UI UX, so you're doing um development, front end or back end or full stack. You're doing blockchain engineering, you're doing cloud computing, you're doing AI, you're doing data science, machine learning, and all these things. You should have something you are doing because the world is really moving past repetitive tasks. The world is moving past pen and paper. Like it's just that Nigeria is doing us a lot of this. What's that English again? A lot of I'll just say bad, right? Because the countries outside here have moved on, like they are really, really ahead, literally. So just have a digital skill at hand with your degree. You need your degree. I'm not saying like you really need your degree. But have a digital skill at hand, no matter how little, no matter how small. It's just, I mean, it helps you to be able to enter the room and speak. When everybody's speaking, you're not doing omo, hey, omo me sef. Ah, God. You're not doing that, right? You can actually say something, which is good for your self-esteem and is good for every other thing. I'm not saying this dictates your self-esteem. I'm just saying, right? So yeah, that is it. So basically, we've come to the end of this session and we have like just 10 minutes left. Um, just feel free to ask me questions now, career related questions, UIX design related questions, design process questions, and if you cannot finish it here, we'll finish it on the group. So um what's it called? Google Meet probably ends the call very soon. So if you have questions, just ask me now. You can unmute and ask your questions. You can type your questions in the in call message and yeah, I'll attend to them. So someone said how it takes how many months to become a UI UX designer. Okay, so basically it depends on how fast you want to go. I usually recommend 3 months, but you can go faster than that. You can like be go from beginner to intermediate in like 3 months, 2 months, right? In like 2 months, yeah, you should be able to like stand on your feet. So 2 months is basically enough for you, and you can start UI UX. Like you can cut yourself a UI UX designer in like 2 months. Yeah. Okay. So any other question for me? Please ask questions. You know, question is stupid. I mean, is there any specific system or is there any system specifications for it? No, there is no system specification for it. The first system I used to start UIX design was a very old and crappy system, and the system bought me my new system. So I mean, there's no limitation. If you have a system, just start, right? But if you have the money and are looking to buy a system, buy one that has like at least 6 gig RAM. Even if it's 4 gig RAM, it's okay. 6 gig RAM has enough space. Um, it's probably Core i3, Core i5. You don't need anything super, right? Just have a system. If you are just starting, just have a system and work with it. I know a guy that used his phone for UI/UX design. I still don't know how he did it to date, but he connected his phone because there's a Figma app. You cannot really design on it except you use like Figma on the web. That's Chrome, Figma on Chrome. So he used Figma Chrome and he connects. He has like this OTG system. He connects the mouse, connects the keyboard. It's a crazy thing. So nothing can really stop you if you really want to do it. Right. So right. Okay. Career related questions. Any questions? Any question? Just throw it in. Please ask me questions. I beg of you. It's one of two things. If you don't ask me questions, it's either I'm a very bad teacher and you would never understand anything I've been saying since morning. Oh my good Jesus. Or I did a very good job. Okay. Let me beg you now. Somebody should just unmute and tell me that, sir, you tried. So that I just know that I did something here. Right. On my part, so. Okay. Someone asked, yesterday asked, after beginner level, can you make money? Yes, you can make money. You can make money as a freelancer. You can use LinkedIn to push yourself. LinkedIn has a very, very, very vast. LinkedIn is basically for professionals, right? LinkedIn, you have a lot of what's it called, professionals on LinkedIn. So you can use LinkedIn to start. You can use all these freelancing platforms. Though freelancing platforms are not very, very okay, Motorola, when I finish speaking, you're going to talk. Freelancing platforms are not very, very. They don't go easy on beginners. So I'll say you should start with LinkedIn, share your work on Twitter, share it on WhatsApp, increase your reach, know people. My first 4 or 5 jobs were on for WhatsApp. People I worked for. I worked for free too though. But yeah, my first 5 jobs were on WhatsApp. Then I moved to LinkedIn. Well, my first international job was on LinkedIn. From there, I had the confidence to move to Twitter, get one of the clients. Now I'm using Upwork. I started using Upwork last year and I've been in UIUX for 3 years. So you see, it's not just about all these platforms, right? So yes, so that's it. It's not. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but then you can. I have friends that started before me and they are working with like bigger companies now. So you don't really know where your head is leading you to, right? So, Motoraya, you can speak. Yeah. Good evening. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, that's all. Okay. Thank you. Okay, the presentation is mine. I have it on online, so I can share it on the group for those who want to go through it by themselves. I normally don't share my slides because I like reusing it because it's very hard to create fine slides. But I'll just share it so that those that are unable to be here can go through it. And I also have a recording of this session. I hope the recording is still recording. I have a recording of this session and you can go through the recording if you missed the session or you are joining late. Or for those that are unable to join, I have the recording for you and you can just go. Yeah, I'll share the this thing. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much, Mutunari. You have stolen my heart away because you said I did a very good job. Thank you so much. Yes. So yeah, about the issue of making money, I know everybody wants to make money. Me self, money are defined. Anything. So we have like 2 minutes left. You can't make money. You just need to show yourself. If you do not show yourself, people will not see you. When I started learning UI UX, I was telling everybody. I told my friends. My friends told people their friends. Their friends now said, "Oh, you have a friend that yes." And from there, I started connecting with people, I mean, that's how it starts, right? Yes, so I feel that is all for now. We should have another session tomorrow. That session we're going to be using Figma, just showing you how Figma works. We'll probably design a landing page. You can see how all the buttons and everything works and the magic that we do in UIUX design, because it's magic, right? That we do in UIUX design is going to be there. So I thank everybody for coming. If you still have questions, you can ask on the group. I would surely answer them. Thank everybody for spending their time here. After now, I need to go and read my book because I have physiology very soon. And so thank you so much everybody for attending to this session. I would be happy to see everybody tomorrow. The call is about to end. Google Meet wants to slap my face right now. And yes, thank you so much, Yetunde. Thank you so much, Petraya. Thank you, Festus. Thank you, everybody that attended. I really, really enjoyed this session. Though most of you are not talking, I'll fight you people tomorrow. But yes, thank you so much. Have a very wonderful evening.